Uh, uh, Welcome back to Perks reCAP Podcast. The Dodgers are annoying. Looking forward to this series. Really looking forward to this series. Yankees are playing so well. Lose 2 out of 3. I will give them credit for getting up off the mat on Sunday after the absolute embarrassment on Saturday of losing 18-2 on Saturday. A complete bitch slapping, a complete pistol whip. Just, know your role, know your place behind us. That was disappointing as all hell. If you told me we were going to win just one game in this series, and we had Ryan Yarbrough, Max Fried, and Will Warren pitching, I would say the one that we're going to win is the Max Fried one. Wrong. I would be right thinking that the Will Warren one would go bad, and it did very, very bad. But I would be wrong thinking that we would lose the Yarbrough one. We actually won the Yarbrough one, the third game, the last game. So we lose the first two right off the bat. Okay, let's get into the game. In the car. All right. First game, we lose 8-5. Max Fried, 5 innings, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 Ks. His ERA jumps to now to 192. That'll tell you how good he was pitching, knowing that he gave up 6 runs in this game and it still is not over 2. His first loss on the year, he's now 7-1. I mean, what are we going to do? Crush Max Fried for losing to the Dodgers on the road? You can't. So you got Jonathan Loaisiga, picks up a third of an inning. Tim Hill goes an inning. His ERA, well, I'll get to that later. De Los Santos goes a third of an inning and gives up 3 hits and 2 runs. And it seems that he is going to be sent down. I believe Carlos Carrasco is on his way back as a reliever. Not entirely sure what's going on. But Carlos Carrasco, I think I read that he's coming back, and the person that's going to be sent down is De Los Santos, surprisingly. He did give up 3 hits and 2 runs in a third of an inning. That kid Hedrick actually came in for an inning in the third and didn't give up anything. Tony Gonsolin pitched pretty well for the Dodgers. But the Yankees had their chances here. They had hits. Grisham, Judge, and Rice all had 2 hits. Judge had his 19th homer. The Yankees left 8 men on base with 9 hits. Look at the difference. The Dodgers had 12 hits, 3 more hits, and only 5 left on base, 3 less left on base. And the bullpen, of course, for the Dodgers goes 4 innings and gives up nothing. I'm sorry, got 3 innings, gives up nothing. So there's that. The bullpen really won that game for them after Gonsolin left, shut the Yankees down. So on Saturday, the 31st, the Yankees, as I said, lose 18-2. 18-2. What could go wrong did. Will Warren, an inning and a third, 7 earned runs. That's basically the end of the story. You don't have to get into it after that. I mean, we will a little bit, but I mean, an inning in the third, 7 runs, you're screwed. You're screwed. You're screwed. 8 hits, 4 walks, 5.19 ERA now for Warren. Gets the loss. He's 3-3, even though he was pitching well up until this point. Hedrick came in for 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning. His ERA went from 0 to 3.24. Ian Hamilton was one bright spot, 2 innings, 1 walk, 1 K, gave up nothing else. His ERA for the season standing at 4.50. But then Jack Leiter Jr., 2/3 of an inning, 4 earned runs, 4 hits. His ERA now stands at, 370, and it was down on below 2 before. De Los Santos, as I said, I think he might be being sent down, 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, a walk. Devin Williams came on for 2/3, didn't give up anything. Luke Weaver comes on for an inning, gives up a hit and a run. He actually gave up a run. I think it was a home run. I'm not entirely sure. His ERA is still only 105. And they brought in Pablo Reyes, the utility infielder, outfielder, whatever, utility guy. And he pitched an inning and gave up 3 runs. Max Muncy killed us. The Yankees with 2 home runs. Guy had 4 home runs coming in, and he gets 2 against the Yankees and just wins the game. Dodgers 18 hits, 9 guys left on base. Yankees 7 hits, 6 guys left on base. Nobody had 2 hits except for one guy on the Yankees, and that guy went 3 for 4 with 2 more home runs for Aaron Judge. He's now up to 21. But what a stinker of just a stinker of a game. The guys I've had concerns about this whole time really has been like Warren and Mark Leiter Jr. There's a few others, but that's where the concern is. Sorry, yawned. Let's go to Sunday's game. June 1st. It was a 7-3 win. We salvaged the last game. We got knocked down after Friday, knocked out after Saturday, but we were saved by the bell on Sunday and won 7-3. It's just not really that meaningful to lose 2 out of 3 to LA. A lot of people do it, obviously, in LA. I'm glad I'm very glad we didn't get swept. I'm glad the Yankees showed a little bit of pride in this game. The pitching matchup did not favor us. Ryan Yarbrough against Yamamoto, and Yamamoto's been pitching really well. And Yamamoto went 3 2/3 innings and gave up 4 runs, and they took him out. On the Yankee side, 6 innings, 4 hits, a run. His ERA sitting at 2.83. He's 3-0. Ryan Yarbrough, 6 innings. You got to keep him in. You've got to. Whenever Heel comes back, I don't know what they're going to do. At this point, I guess it's Will Warren that's got to go. Become a long reliever. Although Yarbrough, they might put him in that role because he's been in that role before for a while, as an opener for a team, as a long reliever for teams. But he's doing really well right now as a starter. If he still continues to do that, how are you going to take him out when Heel comes back? Rice hit a home run, his 12th. Yankees had 11 hits and left 12 men on base. They won 7-3, but they left 12 men on base. There was a lot of traffic in this game for the Yankees. A lot of traffic. Loizaga came in for an inning. He actually gave up 2 runs. His ERA is at 4.05. Devin Williams comes in as well. Goes an inning, strikes out 2. Nothing else. Doesn't give up anything. ERA in at 6.23. And Tim Hill comes in for an inning, gets K. His ERA is at 3.24. DJ LeMahieu. I've been crapping all over DJ LeMahieu for a while. He was hitting 171 coming into this game. Still very early in the year. I've been crapping on him. I didn't even want him to come back. I didn't want him on this team. But I will give credit where credit's due. He went 4 for 5 today. Had 2 RBIs, a couple of big hits. The tack on runs late were his responsibility. So you got to give the devil his due. You cannot hold that. You cannot be blind to the good things. And today was a very, very good day for DJ LeMahieu. And he's going to continue to get the opportunity because Jazz Chisholm, I believe, will be back on Tuesday. Yankees are off on Monday. So Tuesday, Jazz Chisholm will be returning to the team, and he's going to be playing third base. His minor league rehab assignments have been at third, and they've officially announced he's playing third, which means DJ LeMahieu is staying at second base. He's playing at second. That's all there is to it. I still don't expect anything from him. I still expect that he won't be on the team the entire year, or at the very least won't be on the playoff roster. And then I expect he'll struggle to stay above the Mendoza line, the 200 mark, as the season wears on. Like I said, he was at 171 before today, but he's had so few at-bats, a 4 for 5 day probably puts him over 200. But whatever the case is, still haven't been very impressed other than this one game for DJ. Prove me wrong, please. I'm begging you. DJ LeMahieu, prove me wrong. Show us you got something more in the tank. Would definitely appreciate that. And I guess the odd man out is going to be Oswald Peraza. And, I could say I think Volpe is doing a little better lately. At the very least, seems to be getting a little bit more clutch hits, if not more hits overall. Doing a little better. But, he can definitely falter and go, and then find himself in a platoon at shortstop with Peraza, to be honest. I don't know what the move will be with Jazz on Tuesday, who's going to get sent down or who's going to be off the team. It's probably going to be either Reyes or Peraza, I would assume. But now, also, we have to consider the fact that the Martian jammed his finger on second base. How stupid is this? He steals second. By the way, I think he had 2 steals in this game, and he had a couple. He's been stealing more and more bases, which I am really, really in favor of. So keep doing that. And he wears the oven mitt on one hand, and he slides into second head first with the other hand, with the uncovered hand, and jams his finger and has to leave the game. Jason Dominguez, what are you doing? You have the oven mitt on your right hand. You slide in with your left and jam your finger and have to leave the game. Are you going to be out now with a jammed finger? Did you possibly fracture your thumb? Do you have to wear the oven mitt on both hands because you can't figure it out? My God. I saw that. I couldn't believe it. So he left the game, by the way, on Sunday. So it looks like the outfield is Bellinger, Grisham, and Judge until Dominguez comes back. If he, unless he's right, back right on Tuesday, and it's no big deal. But would it at all surprise you if he conveniently goes on the IL on Tuesday, for even if it's 10 days, when Jazz comes back and nobody has to get sent down? I could see it. Jazz comes back, they play it super cautious, and he jammed his finger. They want to give him a full rest, make sure it's 100% is what they'll say, then give him 10 days. You put him on that short IL, and he'll be gone for 10 days. Totally could see it. The thing is, you need another outfielder, unless you play Reyes out with the outfield, which you can do, and give Judge some DH days before Stanton comes back, because he's also trending in the right direction to come back. So we'll have to see about Stanton. I'm not entirely sure what the timetable is on him. He's hitting against live pitching, apparently, taking batting practice. I'm not sure if he'll need a rehab assignment or not, because he doesn't play in the field, so he doesn't need that. Maybe a game or two, try to get his timing. But I think he's not going to be very, very long. I would say before July 1st. I would say probably the end of June is when we'll see Stanton, by the end of June, just from all the indicators. And then they have a decision to make, a big decision. Stanton clogs up the DH spot. Judge has to play the field every day. Maybe gets 1 day, 1 out of 10 days as a DH. Rice needs a DH day on the day you give Stanton a day off. You give Goldschmidt a day off and play Rice at first. You're going to play Rice twice a week? Is that what you're going to do? Ben Rice with 12 home runs, left-handed power at Yankee Stadium, you're going to play him twice a week? Doesn't make any sense to me, man. Doesn't make any sense. I would say Stanton and him got to split it, completely split it. They should both play like 4 days a week. And the way you manufacture that is you give 2 days a week for DH for Rice, 1 day at first base. No, I'm sorry, 3 days a week at DH for Rice, 1 day a week at first base for Rice. And then the other 4 days you give, the other 4 days of the week, I'm all confused myself here. 3 days a week for Rice as DH and 1 day at first. 3 days a week for DH for Stanton, or 4 days a week if you're not going to give Judge a day off. But if you want to give Judge a day off and Stanton's got to sit, he's only going to play 3 days a week, and Judge gets the DH 1 day, and he should get DH 1 day. Or how about this? This is a novel idea. How about you play Stanton in the outfield on the day Judge is a DH? How about that? Doesn't matter. He's going to round second and get hurt again anyway. As soon as he has to really bust it and there's a play at the plate and he's really got to run, he's going to come up lane. He always does that. That's what he does. But it does matter while he's healthy. And if he continues to stay healthy and comes back, there's a little bit of an overload problem. And you don't want to get rid of some of these guys in a trade or something, because you know if Stan gets hurt again, then you're screwed, because then those guys aren't there. So you don't want to trade Rice. You can't do that. So anyway, that's the pod. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed the series. We did lose 2 out of 3, but on to the next. I did not look up who we're playing next, so I will tell you that real quick before we sign off. That is the Guardians at Yankee Stadium on the 3rd. Tomorrow, Monday, is a day off. Tuesday, they return. And I will return at the end of that series to go over it. Guardians at home is definitely a 2 out of 3 winnable series. We'll see if they can get it done. Bounce back after this one. Not a huge deal, but definitely a disappointment, especially Saturday. But that's going to do it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Till next time, I will see you later.